To continue, dear friends, of course, while all these developments are taking place, Russian military is without any stopper continuing to advance on the battlefield and improve positions, liberate more and more people, more and more settlements, territories. And we have this report, for example, the Russian Ministry of Defense confirmed the liberation of settlements of Tsegelna in the Kharkov region. This is right next to Volchansk, and also Nichevka settlement was liberated in Dnipropetrovsk region. Let me show you on the map these areas. So this is Dnipropetrovsk region where settlement of Nichevka was liberated. And if you take a look at the map, dear friends, well, it is clear that Russian armed forces now cut at least in two places, at least in two positions, main supply and support line that Kiev regime's garnison had in Gulai Pole. And also number of sources are reporting that it's not just Danilovka settlement and Nichevka settlement are liberated, which allowed Russian troops to establish physical control over this main supply and support line that Gulai Pole garnison had, but also Radosnaya settlement allegedly are in Russian control. Maybe today Russian Defense Ministry will confirm this information. And when it comes to another settlement that was liberated by Russian forces, it's right next to Volchansk, northern part of Kharkov region, of course. So this is Tsegelna settlement on the southeastern side of Sinelnikovo settlement, and on the western side of Volchansk city itself, where Russian troops are conducting clearing operation now. And probably before end of this week, Volchansk clearing operation in Volchansk will be finalized, and Russian Defense Ministry will confirm full liberation, complete liberation of this town. I think so. But this is not all, dear friends. When it comes to developments on the battlefield, of course, you know about basically complete collapse of Kiev regime's defense lines in Zaporizhzhia sector around Gulai Pole. Also, just 2 days ago, I reported about tremendous progress of the Russian armed forces in Orekhov direction. Malaya Takmachka settlement was liberated by Russian forces, and this settlement is located literally on right next to Orekhov city, another stronghold of Kiev regime in Zaporizhzhia sector. And I expect offensive operation in direction of inside, basically, of Gulai Pole and Orekhov will start simultaneously in about it's hard to tell, but I think in next 2 weeks' time, we will see Russian troops in both these towns, in both these cities. Of course, attention of public is still focused on Pokrovsk Mirnograd agglomeration area. Pokrovsk is under full Russian control, although clearing operation still continues. And I saw a video, by the way, yesterday, when two militaries of Kiev regime surrendered. And this video location was pinpointed by mappers, and this is the area where this Kiev regime's troops that were hiding for quite a while was filmed. Two militaries, they dressed her, and this is most southern part of Pokrovsk, so you can understand that clearing operation will take quite some time, isn't it? So these two militaries of Kiev regime, they were able to hide there for quite a long time because this area was under Russian control, for a while now, right? At least 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks actually. And I guess once these two military personnel of Kiev regime ran out of any food, they decided to contact Russian militaries. Probably they saw Russian militaries that were passing next to the building, and they contacted them and surrendered. So you can imagine that such small groups are trapped and are trying to hide in many more areas after Pokrovsk, right? And that's why Russian Defense Ministry is in no hurry to designate Pokrovsk as completely liberated yet. Once clearing operation is finalized, then yes. And when it comes to Mirnograd, yet again, Mirnograd garnison of Kiev regime is completely encircled, and the Russian troops also are in no hurry in this direction, and they are offering, they are giving an opportunity to Kiev regime forces to basically surrender. And this is right approach, because at least 2,000 to 3,000 troops of Kiev regime are encircled in Mirnograd, and you can imagine that casualty numbers among Russian troops could be quite high if Russian troops will go ahead with the massive assault and offensive operation. So to minimize casualties, let's take time. It might be like week or 2 weeks, but life of our militaries is precious, right? So let's take whatever time is necessary. Eventually, this encircled garnison gonna run out of any food or anything whatsoever, right? Even weapons, and they're gonna surrender. Eventually, they're gonna surrender, right? So let's just wait for that. City is under the encirclement, and with the exception of very few, very lucky small groups, no one would be able to escape. No larger military units will be able to escape the Mirnograd. So Russian troops basically are finalizing that operation. Also, we have a major update in about Seversk direction, because it seems like Russian armed forces conducted a lightning fast advance in direction of Seversk from southern sectors, and forward units of the Russian armed forces not just to reach city itself, but entered the city and already liberated several districts of the town. And you can see, by the way, gray zone is already on southern part of Seversk is already in the gray zone, right? Russian troops were spotted not far away from central part of Seversk. So quite surprising, I will say, information. I was expecting that Russian troops will first liberate Liman even, right? And then Seversk, because advances of the Russian armed forces towards Liman was very rapid from northern western side. Also, Russian troops were advancing very rapidly in between Liman and Seversk, right? And just yesterday, I reported about the liberation of Platonovka, isn't it? Settlement that located exactly between Seversk and Liman. But now we have this report that in past 24 hours, Russian militaries conducted this lightning faster advance breakthrough, basically was achieved, and the Russian troops are inside Seversk, almost in the central part of their city right now, which can be seen as an indicator that local garrison of Kiev regime is not really battle capable or battle ready, right? And if that is the case, probably defense lines of that garnison of Kiev regime will collapse, maybe even before end of this week, and Seversk will be liberated, because advance is just tremendous. Everyone was caught by surprise, I guess, with this development, with this success story on behalf of Russian militaries. In case you like my work and want to support, let me tell you that under this video, in description box and in the pinned comment, you can find links to PayPal and Boosty platforms that you can use to donate to this project. You can find there also a link to my Patreon page. Please follow me there if you can. And there is a crypto option also. Thank you.